She told me at the baseline, yeah, and everything will be fine. Oh, yeah. She told me at the sound of the drums, to set the mood and foundation. She told me at the baseline, yeah, and everything will be fine. Oh, yeah. She told me at the sound of the drums, to set the mood and foundation.
Hey there, sweet souls. How are you? It's your Force Fairy here. Nice to see you again. Well, it's time for today's Pick a Card reading. And today's intent or question is, what are the messages from your higher self? So take a look at these cards. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Wherever your intuition tells you to go, I'll meet you in the next read. Either pile number 1, pile number 2, or pile number 3. See you there. Hey there, pile number 1. How are you? It's your Force Fairy here. Nice to see you again. Well, it's time to find out what the messages are from your higher self. Right there, first card out. And with these Pick a cards, I am so excited to co-create these reads with, there it is, with the deck creators. I'm loving the messages and how they come together, how they sort of dance between each other, and it's like the energies, the wisdom of each deck designer coming forth, being sort of brought together by the universe. So these are these are the messages your higher self, whoa, your higher self wants you to know right now. Right there. I'm using, these are this week's decks, and I will be switching them every week. So this is the week of the 19th to 25th. Although these reads are timeless. When they find you, it's because you were meant to hear these messages. So that's the first oracle deck. Actually, I did that one first. This is the second oracle deck, and now this is the third oracle deck. Right there. Okay, let's get into the tarot. Right there. These are the highest messages, or your higher self, sorry. Your higher self. And what messages your higher self wants you to know. Second of the 3 tarot decks, King of Cups, showing its face. The King of Cups. I'm almost feeling that going into this Cancer season, we all, and maybe in particular you, see, I'm off. I can see, and that's the other thing, I can see the image. I can see the image now, and I couldn't before. There we go. So I want to get this all there. All right. Messages from your higher self. last deck. And that's my owl deck, because my kids got me that owl feather this past weekend. And so it's this owl deck. It might stay with me through the summer, or we'll find out next week if another deck calls, maybe another bird deck. Now that is an owl feather, so that's why the owl deck came out. I have quite a few different bird, oracle, and tarot decks. So what are the messages that your higher self wants you to know? Right there. All right, we're ready. That looks good. All right. So, let's start with, it's the cosmic deck of initiation. So let's start with this first message here. Oh, I love this one. Universal love. Oh, I'm loving it. All right. I love this. And we'll just go to the universal section. Universal love. You have transcended self and touched into universal love. This is what your higher self is saying to you, pile number 1. You draw to the selflessness that is within all. The giving of the higher self. We don't speak about higher self, it's right there. In communication with the energies of the universe. You become a channel to the universe, moving away from a focus on self. Unconditional love. There is a greater oneness within than ever before. So your higher self wants you to know that you are unconditional love. That you are the bridge between what one would say the subconscious and conscious self, between spirit realm and earthly realm. You are that bridge with love. With love. Now, you've got 2. Well. You've got bat and fox. Well, I'm going to put this down here then and put these up here, just so we can fit them. And fox. So fox is saying cunning, agility, quick-wittedness, diplomacy, wildness, camouflage, shape-shifting, invisibility. With universal love, I feel that this is the energy of you knowing that there's more than just what you can see. You are very aware with that quick-wittedness, with that cunning, that there is more energies, more frequencies, more, I want to say, players in the game, more than one can see. Bat. Discretion. Because of that, bat has come out along with fox. Discretion, perception, transformation, hypersensitivity. Ah, yes. Ingenuity, talent, astuteness, artfulness, and effectiveness. So in order to spread this universal love, in order to teach others about unconditional love, this is where bat comes into play, where you have to be to use your discretion. To use the discretion as to who will be receptive and who will manipulate your words, your actions. There's a lot of manipulation, and especially moving forward into this Cancer season, a lot, because again, Cancer is the cardinal water sign. So that cardinal energy of being a leader and leading with love, with that universal love. That's the love of yourself as well as others. Knowing that we are all one. If each one of us loves ourselves just a little bit more and just a little bit more, we're actually loving all those around us. But we still have to be discerning against those who will want to use, who will want to manipulate, who will want you to be your old self. When you've gone through a transformation, when you've really stepped deeper into your own consciousness, when you are aware of our oneness as humans, as people, as souls, when you start seeing people on a soul level, I know this from experience, that I let a lot of people use me, I let a lot of people manipulate me because I saw them as a soul, as a pure light, and not what they were choosing to do in this 3D world. That is something, it was a hard lesson for me to learn. But with Pluto being in Capricorn for the last, decade, it seems. I don't know, I think since my second boy was born, so that's 2008. He's the first of the Pluto Cap generation. So since then, I have gone through it, sweet souls. I'm not gonna lie. But being discerning, perceptive during this transformation, and as you transform, this hypersensitivity to, and for some of you this could be a warning, to cunning, right? But this is also diplomacy, and wildness, camouflage, shape-shifting. I love shape-shifting. Shape-shifting is you can stand out in a crowd, or you can hide in plain sight. I've been able to do both, right? I don't know if that's exactly shape-shifting, but when people say you haven't changed at all and it's been 10, 15 years, there's something to be said about that. Or someone won't see me in a decade anymore and go, you've changed so much. There's something to be said about that. Did you see me, my true self, before, or do you just see me now? Like, there's a lot of questions. That's where the discernment comes into play. Next card, Waterfall. Speaking of Cancer season, we got Waterfall here. Let's take a look. Waterfall. That would definitely be in the water family. Waterfall. Waterfall is an indigenous offering, as resounding as the hum of the earth. She calibrates and transforms all who witness her. Earth along the way, she dances with glittering abundance. Waterfall, in her unhinged impermanence, shows us that some things cannot be stopped. It is through her wild existence, and it's funny that we have wildness in fox, in her wild existence that we receive a transmission. What has passed will be reborn by plunging into the soothing depths of euphoria. All we have to do is let go. Waterfall says that nothing is permanent, and so grasping is pointless. This is actually good news. It takes so much effort to hold on tightly, and doing so rarely yields the desired result. Imagine you are thirsty and have only your hands from which to drink. If they are fists, the water has no place to rest long enough to make it to your mouth. But if you open your hands gently, a natural reservoir forms, and you will be able to quench your thirst. Take a cue from Waterfall and release what you have in your fists. Just like her trajectory, that of your destiny is unstoppable. Pile number 1, listen to that. Just like her trajectory, that of your destiny is unstoppable. What is truly yours will come without constriction. So when you are balanced, pile number 1, your frequent synchronicity, and you have new opportunities. When you're in balance, you're grasping, trying to control, repeating the same story, over and over in your head. Yes. Bring to balance, let go, where you are overly attached. Let go of those attachments. That is difficult. That is a very difficult, especially with programming, especially with, and again, with this Cancer energy of sometimes Cancer can be passive aggressive and use your own goodwill, your own love, your own universal love almost against you, right? And that these are just energies. I'm not talking zodiac signs or people specifically in your life, but if it resonates, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. But it's that emotional, like kind of grasping at your empathy, at your compassion to twist your actions into what they want you to do. If you let go of expectations of others, if you let go of expectations of a result of what you are doing, this is a very difficult thing to do, but a very powerful thing to do. You still go about your day, you still do your things, you still go to your job, you still take care of your family, you still do the things you do. But you let go of expectations. That's not letting go of goals. That's letting go of expectations of said goals, actually. Let's take a look at the next one. Romantic love. Well. The frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience and reflection of a conscious lover. Interesting. Now, through this deck, I'm going to read, this is number 39. I'm going to read, I didn't with the first pick a card, and I don't really regret. I'm just moving forward and making the changes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to, there's a little section, because there's a lot to this particular deck as far as reading. So I'm just going to read the little section at the end that says try this, and that's practical application. And as a Capricorn sun, I love practical application. Try this, do this. These are just suggestions, right? So for this card, romantic love, take a moment to go inside yourself and contemplate the love in your life. Have you ever been deeply in love? That's a very good question. What did you learn about yourself through your lovers? What are you looking for in a romantic relationship? Which parts of you are easy to love? Which parts are perhaps a little harder to love? Write down all the things you love about yourself. That is a good piece of advice, especially when we're talking about universal love, because when you write the things down that you love about yourself, it puts it out there into the universe, what other people will see in you. Having said that, let's go to the fairy message. Oh, you might be feeling this way right now in your way to unconditional love or ascension. I feel lost. Let's take a look at this one. And it's in the water. So again, for some of you, Cancer season could be hard. I'm not looking forward to it. It's my opposition. I'm a Capricorn sun. The opposition is Cancer. It's in my 8th house, so it's very deep for me. And I am not, I have to stay unattached and detached. It's like my Libra moon has to really detach, and my progressed moon is Gemini, so it's still an air moon. So I have to detach from this next season moving forward. So I feel, what do you feel? You feel lost. Look at that sweet little, I feel lost. I am sinking further and further into the depths of my darkness. I feel so lost. But the light living within shows me how I have been found and rescued. It illuminates all the ones who love me. That's very interesting. That you might be feeling lost, pile number 1. This is your higher self speaking to you. That if you feel lost, and again, I want to read that last part again. It illuminates, this card illuminates all the ones who love me. Admitting someone loves you as you love them. That's a very interesting, when you feel lost, when you feel nobody is there for you. It's when, I dare say, as someone who has felt this way, that's when you look to the love of God. You can call it universal love. It's unconditional, no matter what you've done. It's unconditional. And that depth of love, that love intensity, it's very hard to understand for us humans. So you got to go deep. And so in going into the depths, and I imagine the depths of the ocean, I imagine the Hermit card with this one, that's where you can really discover your love of God or universe. Page of Wands. This is a curious little page, a fiery page, and yet in this deck they represent, the snake is represented. I love this deck because the creator has picked out animals you would never sort of associate with these cards, these tarot cards. So this is the emerald tree boa. Optimism, good news, and adventurous. Snakes in almost all cultures are known for their transformation energy, and that's what universal love really spoke of. And waterfall too. Transformation energy. This type of energy can help reinvigorate. Can help reinvigorate. It's where the emphasis on which syllable. And renew the sense of adventure and joy of achieving your goals. So this is maybe after going through the depths of feeling lost, you might be feeling lost as to, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? Am I wasting my time? I don't believe so. No. Not when it comes to finding universal love or romantic love, or going as the waterfall does, going with the flow is what I'm hearing. Wheel of Fortune. Next card out of this deck, the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. Number 10, right there. Unexpected events, fortune, gain or loss. Represented is the Ouroboros, or a snake eating its tail. This symbol has been interpreted many different ways. Does it represent death or rebirth? Does it mean that things will come around again? Like the idea of the Wheel of Fortune, one does not know the events that will happen. One can only stand to lose or gain. This card represents the enigma of life and how events happen. Very much speaking about waterfall, that things are going to happen. Things are going to come and go regardless of how you perceive them or how you want them to be. There is something to be said about fate. And this is the Wheel of Fortune, speaks about fate. It's always turning, and it depends on where you are on that wheel as to if you're going to fall or if you're going to pick yourself up back and go back up. And the Knight of Pentacles. And this dedication, the Knight of Pentacles is about dedication. This dedication to your work, to your development, to your advancements. This is what this is about. Let's take a look. The Knight. It's a bear. Yep, we can see that. Dependable, reliable, practical. Bears are a force to be reckoned with. They follow the same yearly patterns of hibernation for the winter and awaking again in the spring. This type of reliable energy is an inspiration and a reminder that there are others who do count on you. I'm really picking up on this Knight of Pentacles, that when you are going through transformations, when you are feeling lost, when maybe too many people have relied on you and you feel like you're sinking, you're down at the bottom of this wheel or falling off the wheel, know that those who love you as you love them, as I said earlier in this read, will be there for you. That means you have to trust. You have to trust. 6. The Six of Wands, success. So we go from feeling lost, and you might not even realize that you are experiencing success in the minds of others, but to yourself you feel at a loss. That's very interesting. That's what I'm picking up there. This one, this tarot deck, Six of Wands. It is 10 to 20 degrees of Leo. It's also Jupiter in Leo, if that means something to you in your chart. This is, in essence, a card of cheering energy and accolades. This is both motivating and inspiring. When this card appears in a reading, it represents campaigns that are winning and being successful. It can also mean that there's a sense of optimism with a feeling that everything is moving in the right direction, just like that wheel. Everything is moving in the right direction. This is the Patience card with Temperance. This is also I'm kind of feeling this Temperance card also speaks of tempering your emotions, is what I'm really picking up. The spiritual being in this card is proficient at harmonizing many forces. Okay, I said emotions, we're talking forces and energies, yes. By relying on its great reservoir of wisdom and insight, it enables us to find balance, inner tranquility, and the middle way in the hardships of our own modern world. Temperance allows all forces within it to conspire for your personal growth and development, assisting you in obtaining a state of calm and tranquility. And when you're in darkness, if you feel lost, being in a state of calm and tranquility is the best thing you can do. And as I said, it's very interesting. I said that this very much, that I feel lost, feels like the Hermit card. And here, out of our second tarot deck, we have the Hermit. And do you see, I know it's not going to show up well on the camera. This is very dark. And the only light is that lantern right there that little baby has. I just see a little baby right there. The Hermit wearing a cape shows the constellation of Virgo. It's right above the Knight of Pentacles, also Virgo energy. Interesting. He is associated with seeking out spiritual enlightenment, soul searching, self-reflection, introspection, contemplation, inner guide, and solitude. Your higher self is saying it's time for you to really go deep within, find your soul, your soul's purpose. If you aren't already on that path, the wheel is going to turn you onto that path if you haven't found it. If you're there, this very much is finding the inner strength with I feel lost and the Hermit to really reconnect with your soul, with your light, to then shine for the rest of us who are also feeling, some of us feeling lost, some of us feeling like we are in permanent hermit mode. He helps to bring a greater understanding of self and endeavors. This card will help you find solitude and discover your inner guidance. Your higher self is saying, find your inner guidance. The Devil. The Devil, and it's very interesting that it's right beside this bat. Do you see how the wings are open? Do you see how these two images look very similar to me? And this is the first word out is discretion. So it's be discerning. When it comes to devil energy, it can be very manipulative, especially with the emotions. That's okay. Your higher self this is a warning. The Devil. Let's see what the owls have to say about the Devil. The temptation. The temptation is real. There are places, people, or things that you are obsessed with right now that have you caught up in a trap of your own making. Wow, this is a warning. Pile number 1. You are free to fly out of the situation anytime you want, but you choose to stay and play with the shiny objects. The red color of the Devil Owl in this card is telling you to stop and see past the illusion. And it's right above the feel lost. Are you feeling lost? Because of the illusion of the devil. Okay. Does this mean, pile number 1, you need to get off the social media? Get outside, get out of your home and or office, your workspace? Yeah, the red color of this devil in this card is telling you to stop and see past the illusion. Is this truly what you want? Or is it an infatuation that has you self-sabotaging your life? It's not too late. You can still make the decision to choose other opportunities that are already waiting for you. Interesting. Next card from the Owls, 9 of Cups. Well, isn't this a beautiful next card out? Is your wish fulfillment. Right above the 6 of Wands. All right. 6 of Wands. Where are my wands? I think it's the very beginning. There it is. 6 of Wands. I'm looking for cups. My apologies. I just passed the cups. There we go. 9 of Cups. There we go. The many adventures you have been on have led you to your ultimate wish being fulfilled. You have never felt so joyful and content in your life. Having reached your goals and receiving the achievement of a lifetime feels super satisfying. Open your magical wings and embrace this extraordinary moment, and expect more blessings to soar into your life. Your wishes have come true. Is that when you have seen, when you've been discerning and have seen through the illusions of the devil? I dare say with this Page of Swords. Yes, the Page of Swords. The truth, this is Gemini energy. This is a truth teller. A truth teller. Page of Coins, Page of Swords. Like the Page of Swords, you love to learn. And you take on things very fast. You are a fast learner. And the information magically embeds itself into your mind. If you are being called to learn something new, this card is a confirmation to go for it. You will start as a page, but in no time, you will move up the ladder. I think you have learned how to stay calm. I think you have learned how to see your own successes. I think you have learned that you can feel lost when you believe, let's say, social media, legacy media, the messaging that keeps you in this state of fear, of doubt, of temptation. That's the devil. And so what have you learned about universal love is that we are all one. I think that is it with that page. 7 of Swords. Look at that. The 7 of Swords. Now, the 7 of Swords could have sent you into hermit mode. Just saying. Let's see, with the 7 of Swords, we all know, if you know anything about tarot, and you're watching this, you know what the 7 of Swords. But let's see what the owls say about this card. 7 of Swords. At times, possibly right now, you will come across a thought or idea left behind by someone who used to be on the same path as you. Okay. This might be an idea that serves your purpose and helps you ascend on your journey. Or perhaps you've come across thoughts and beliefs that are not meant for anyone, and that's why they're discarded. Okay. It is up to you, again, discernment. It is up to you to evaluate your current circumstances, going hermit deep, to see if this idea can help you on your flight or if it's a distraction, the devil. Don't let thoughts that look sparkly sidetrack you from your path to success. We have it right here. Not every idea is meant for you, sweet souls. That's what your higher self wants you to know, is that not every idea is for you. You can go to school, you can learn, as this Page of Swords does, but I find it very interesting that these two came in back to back. He's looking away from these swords, these thoughts that were discarded. Maybe they're not meant for you. I love that message of the 7 of Swords. I love that. So be discerning with the bat energy against the devil, which is fear, temptation, doubt. Don't doubt that your wishes are coming true. Don't doubt that you're having success, that you will stay calm as the wheel turns. Go deep within and keep moving with this Knight of Pentacles. If you're looking for romantic love, it's right here on the table. And that's what I see for you. Pile number 1. And I'm sure I'll see you again. Take care from your Forest Fairy. Bye for now. there, sweet souls. How are you? It's your forest fairy here. Nice to see you again. Well, today's pick a card. Oh, and welcome, pile number 2. Today's pick a card are your higher self's messages to you, what your higher self wants you to know. All right. And this is pile number 2. So welcome to your read, pile number 2. Pick-a cards are new to me, so it's probably gonna take me about a week to get through what it is and in which order I welcome you, I mention the pile, and then what the intent that I'm putting in these cards is, and it's your higher self's messages that you are to hear. First card out. Now let's get some. This is just such a small little deck. Some totem. Your totem animal. For pile number 2, what are your higher self's messages? What's going to come out for pile number 2? Let's take a look. Oh, right there. All right. I'm going to go with this one. Higher self messages for pile number 2. Higher self messages for pile number 2. Right there. All right. Next deck. I love this deck. This deck is so sweet. It's got such a sweet energy. It's one of my favorite oracle decks. And it will be listed in the decks down in the description box below, but this is one of my favorites. You might see this one again throughout the summer. I just call it my fairy deck. And this one is very interesting. This is geometry, like geometric, or you know, the patterns that when frequency makes patterns, and this is what it reminds me of. It's almost like frequencies from, oh, there it is. Let's get into the tarot for my pile number 2s. I might put in timestamps for the shuffling process if you just want to get to it. And we're recording differently today. I'll see once I get into the office later on. Because I do a little bit of editing. It has really cut down on the editing. But we had troubles yesterday. And it went up today, that video. It took all night to upload, and then I ended up having to drive into town. Oh, I'm doing it wrong. Sorry. There's the Fool card. See, again, I get talking and start shuffling and going back to the zodiac reads where I turn the cards upright. Anyways, my apologies. Anyways, we had troubles with the upload, as we have come across, and because it was such a big file, being such a long, it wasn't a 20-minute read, right? So I'm going to try and keep these shorter, but pile number 1 has already been so long. Anyways, so I'm going to try really hard to keep this to, like, I don't want to just run through it without, you know, again, the kids always say that you gotta say what you gotta say in the readings, Mom, and it doesn't matter how long it takes. Meanwhile, when it comes to editing, they fight over the shortest ones. So yeah, you say that, boys, but in the meantime, you'll take a 19-minute read over a 33, right? So, again, it's funny. It's funny around here. Let's do 3 of these. I love this combination of tarot and oracle. I really do. I'm falling in love with it. Last tarot deck, and then we'll get to messages. And the messages are coming from your higher self for pile number 2. So pile number 1 is messages. Oh, I guess they're all beautiful. They really are. I'm just so amazed by every single read that I do in this format. So let's get the owl cards out. Right there. Am I off? Is that card within? Let's see. They want to come from the bottom. That's fine. Alright. I'm going to move these over because I've got a new... Yep. Everything looks crooked to me. I can actually see what I'm doing with this format than before. So, and when I would edit my other reads, oh my goodness, the crookedness drove me insane. Like when the cards would go all crooked. Oh, it really drove me insane. Okay, so I'm gonna move this one over. Alright, looks good. I wonder if I can fit another one of these. Can I? I'm going to. I'm going to take one from the top. Yep. Good. So you get an extra tarot card there, pile number 2. Alright. I like the way that looks. Okay. First card out. Your higher self's messages. Let's take a look. Leo. Leo. Well, well, well. Let's take a look at what Leo has to say. I think, is it Venus is in Leo? Or is it, Venus might be, it's a rarity that Venus goes retrograde. And I think it is it's retrograde. But again, Leo, greater assertiveness of self. Energy is creative growth. You shine within the light. You recenter and refocus on the self. Okay, this is your higher self saying you've got to refocus on yourself. You might be a giver who gives to everyone first and puts yourself on the last of the list. So this Leo card is saying expression takes on greater creativity and authority. Your power seeks forceful outlets. Well, well, well. Let's take a look at the totem message. Monkey. You could be born the year of the monkey. I believe that is 1980. So I guess that would be 1980, 92, 92. Oh, I don't know the years. Add another 12, I guess. Oh, 92, 2002, so 2004 was the year of the monkey. And then 16, I guess. I don't know. I'm just picking up the Chinese year of the monkey for this one. Shrewdness, inquisitive, mischief, youth, affection, good nature, self-deception though, and immaturity. Interesting. That's a very interesting message to go along with Leo. And Leo is optimism. Leo is fun. But this particular Leo card is telling you to take more time, effort, and focus on thyself, on your own shine. Interesting. So monkey might be telling you to be curious about who you are, to be curious about your shine, to have fun. This good-natured sort of like almost mischievous type of energy of just having fun for fun's sake. Now, let's take a look at Divine Feminine. Well, pile number 2. Divine Feminine. We're keeping those straight, it looks like it. Alright, Divine Feminine. 21. And in this book, it's quite long-winded. So I am going to give you the suggestion about this card. I'll read what's on the card. The frequency of Divine Feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. I'm really picking up, especially with this and this, are they called, yeah, geometry patterns, I guess, is that as I said, if you're a giver, Leo's telling you to give to yourself first and stop putting all those around you first on your list. Really start taking care of yourself. Really start nurturing, finding your softer side, allowing it to express itself openly. If you need help, ask for it. If you need rest, ask for it. It's this real sense of taking care of yourself to be of better service to others is what I am hearing. So, try this. With this card, try this. This is the message. Close your eyes and go inside yourself. The feminine nature is to love, nurture, and to guide through intuition. Are you allowing this? Are you loving towards others? How about towards yourself? Leo, that was the message from Leo. Do you express your femininity without holding back? Take some time tonight to do something loving and special for yourself and spark your femininity. And that's exactly, ironically, with Leo being a fire element, masculine, Leo being ruled by the sun, again, masculine, is telling you, pile number 2, to find that deep femininity and to take care of yourself. That was the message from Leo. And again, Divine Feminine has said the same thing. Now let's see what's up here. Spider. Ooh, spider. Now, spider, I am not sure if it's under, I think it's under ethereal as far as this ether, trust. This is Spider's message from your higher self. This is Spider's message. Trust. Spider weaves her silken life-supporting matrix with precision and purpose. Now, I'm picking up from that. You design the matrix for you. This story is that Spider's web intercepts her prey, but this is misperception. She is an inspired creatrix. Her web intentionally births to attract rather than trap. Attract, like the Divine Feminine. Her success comes from trusting that the magnetism of her artistry will carry her through. Spider teaches a primal truth about the willingness to trust that the tools you have within will awaken your untapped capabilities. This is what Leo is saying. It is not only safe to live from your inspiration, it is advisable. When you weave your world out of passion rather than obligation, your authentic creativity and purpose are unleashed. You become a lightning rod for grace. Take a page from Spider's book and trust your passion and artistry as potential for prosperity. And that's exactly what the message from Leo was about. Pile number 2. Let's see what I will encourage. I'm really feeling with this one. That's encouraging yourself, your own creativity, taking care of yourself. I will. I will encourage. My light is warm and inviting, listening and encouraging in times of trouble and dispute. Wow, let's get to some tarot. Let's see what's down here. Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands. Let's take a look at what the message from the Ace of Wands is about. Adventure, bountiful energy, and opportunity. Everyone's journey is different. The wand represents a beacon of light and enthusiasm on a new path of adventure and excitement. And the Eight of Pentacles. This, for some of you, could be a new job. You could be moving towards a new job, a new career. Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles. The Beaver. Continued learning, hobbies, attention to detail. This is Virgo energy. Beavers work hard to create their homes. Kind of like the spider, eh? Yeah, to create their homes. And dams in rivers. They must pay attention to details or otherwise the whole structure could fall apart. Drawing on the energy of a beaver, learning new skills, and to add to already known ones can be very beneficial. And the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is about mental rest. Let's see with the Four of Swords. Rooster. And Rooster's message from your higher self is meditation, rest, and evaluation. Remember that a moment of rest is beneficial to the body, mentally, and physically, and that brings me back to the Divine Feminine card. It allows the mind to rethink a rough situation. The rooster is a powerful and masculine symbol, but even he needs a moment to relax. Brain over brawn is sometimes a better course to win the day. Interesting. It's kind of like mind over matter with that one. The Nine of Wands is our next tarot card creator. The Nine of Wands. It's like you're almost there, right? It's that wounded warrior. But in this card, I don't actually see a wounded warrior. I see someone holding up all those and keeping all of those responsibilities. So let's see what this message is for you. Oh, they go through there we go. Sometimes in the guidebooks they separate the kings and the court cards from the. Okay, here we go. 10 to 20 degrees of Sagittarius. Moon in Sagittarius. I say that because they mention it in this deck. It's an astrological deck as well. However, that's for whoever's watching. If you have a moon in Sagittarius, if you have any planets in the 10 to 20 degrees of Sagittarius, tired, drained of energy, courage, persistence, perseverance, you are almost there. As I said, you are almost there. You've made a lot of progress, but there's still a bit of stamina left in us. You are going to need to take care of your body. Divine Feminine. Your higher self, pile number 2, is really saying take care of yourself. You've been taking care and taking on so many responsibilities, taking care of so many others first. You need to take care of yourself first, moving forward. And that's what Leo, the first card out, said. It's continuing. You can still encourage. I still see that you are still encouraging others, but you are taking care of yourself, and maybe by doing that, leading them to take care of themselves or showing them to take care of themselves. Yes, you are going to need to take care of your body and mind. Mind, Four of Swords, yes. As we have few more battles on the horizon, this card is asking you to learn from past failures in order to succeed in the future. Next card out, the Tower. And is this what your higher self is saying? You're almost there. The Tower. The towers could be falling around you, whether it be on the business front, on your career front, and your home front. The towers are going to come down, and that's which was not built on a stable foundation. So let's see what the Tower. The message from the Tower, because sometimes the towers fall for you, not to you, but for your best interest. This I know from experience. There isn't just one type of love existing in the cosmos. When we feel confined and have no motivation to change, the universe will create chaos in order to wake us up and take action in a toxic circumstance, overthrowing the old order. Isn't that what we are doing, sweet souls? Overthrowing the old order, chaos, destruction, sudden upheaval, trauma, unexpected change, calamity, and loss are all represented by the tower. No matter what happens, remember that divine intervention is a type of love, yes, and care that want to propel you forward. Towers are for you, pile number 2, not against you. They're for you. And even though, as it says, overthrowing the old order, chaos, destruction, sudden upheaval, trauma, unexpected change, calamity, and loss are all represented by the tower. You could be going through one or all of the above, but it's for you. The Hierophant. Yes. And the next card out is the Hierophant. Wow. The Hierophant, Taurus energy. On the card is a man on a high temple, drawing information from the higher dimension. It is he who holds the key to unlocking the knowledge of the universe. This card represents powerful people who are secure in their beliefs and values and willing to share what they know. In addition, he represents tradition, institutions, values, and conventions, as well as knowledge, representing a mentor and guide in what may be a long, confusing journey, especially with those towers falling, to understanding yourself, going back to the Leo card. Yeah, understanding yourself. It is important to remember that not all traditions were initiated by good intentions. And we have the sun right here, which represents Leo. Interesting, eh? Isn't that a beautiful message about the Hierophant, that not all traditions were made for your best intention? That's why the towers are falling. Pile number 2, last tarot card, tarot deck, and the Hermit. The owls have got the Hermit. The Hermit. What is the message from the Hermit? Let's take a look. A wise owl knows that being by yourself does not necessarily mean that you're alone. Sometimes when life gets too busy, you need to fly away, like the Hermit, and take time to connect back to who you are and your mission. And that's exactly what both the Leo card and the Divine Feminine card is talking about, getting back to who you are. Absolutely. And your mission. I believe that's what the Tower and the again, 9 of Wands, Tower, Hierophant, getting back to your mission. When you are by yourself, that is when your inner voice is heard best and can tell you what inspired actions to take next. Check in and see if now is the time for you to reflect, meditate, or seek the magic within. And that's the Hermit's message. The 7 of Cups is the next card from the Owls. 7 of Cups. That's, you could be going after Tower, you could be going into Hermit mode, absolutely, and really evaluating why these towers have fallen. Again, for you, not to you, for you. 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups. You also have many choices represented to you at this moment, and they all look super magical. They all do. There are so many good options, and it seems that they can all help you. Instead of making an impulsive decision, take your time. Which possibility is best for you? Close your eyes, connect to your feelings associated with each option, and listen to your intuition. Which of these choices brings joy, Leo energy, joy to your heart, that is the one you should say yes to, even if it seems scary. Oh, that's a good message. Page of Cups. Let's go to the Page of Cups. Page of Cups. Where is he? There's the Pentacles page. There he is. Starting something new can be exciting and nerve-wracking all at the same time. Instead of reacting to what you're experiencing, be aware of what you're feeling. Observe how you feel before taking action. Allow your intuition to guide you on your journey. Focus on your heart and let your joy guide you on your flight. Again, we go back to the Leo card of joy, of rediscovering your joy, of encouraging. And if you have, let's say you've lost a job, right? Because it's right above this Eight of Pentacles. And you have this Ace of Wands, this passionate new beginning that you are, with the spider energy, are beginning to weave. You are taking care of your body, of your mind, with the Four of Swords, to really spin that which is going to attract you with love. That Hermit card is really going deep within to see which path is meant for you. That's quieting your mind and listening to what it is, not only what you think, but what you feel. Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles. Let's see what that message from the owls is about. Like the owling in this card, you might have invested in something that you thought was going to be a big payoff. Oh, and it's right above the Tower. But instead, it led to losing resources or money. All is not lost. You have help all around you if you can stop focusing on the problem and see your solution from a different perspective. You will find opportunities hanging right above you. There they are, ready for the taking. And the last card out. Yes, indeed, the Seven of Pentacles, that waiting card. You've been working very hard, Eight of Pentacles. Yep, on gathering your resources and creating an abundant life. The results of your efforts are finally being displayed for all to see. You're not at the finish line yet. Nine of Wands. Not yet, sweet souls. Pile number 2. Not yet at the finish line. So keep going. That's Nine of Wands energy right there. Keep putting in the time, energy, and focus, Eight of Pentacles, to guarantee the ending you desire. And that's what I see for you. Pile number 2. Those are your messages from your higher self. Keep going. Find your inner shine and keep going. You got this. Weave your own matrix. Absolutely. And that's what I see for you. And I'm sure I'll see you again. Take care from your Forest Fairy. Bye for now. Hey there, pile number 3. How are you? It's your Forest Fairy here. Nice to see you again. And welcome to your reading, pile number 3. Today's pick a card is about what your higher self, what messages your higher self would like you to receive. Right there, first card out. Let's get some totem animals on this and see what whoa, right there, and there's 2. So when there's 2, I'm going to put them up here. I think pile number 1 had 2 of these cards as well. So 2 wanted to come out for you, pile number 3. So how am I going to do this? I'm going to do this one down. Oh no, I'm going to do this one down here now, because that's usually that position up there. Okay, I'm just talking out loud. This read has already stopped once, the pile number 3s, so I'm almost feeling there's someone, something, some energy that's blocking you from your intuition, from your higher self, from your angels and guides. We'll find out. We'll find out for you, pile number 3. Let's take a look. Right there. That one right there. Want it to come out. Alright. And then let's do the fairies. This fairy deck is so pretty. It has such a gentle, and I love my feather. It's the latest feather that my kids have found. It's an owl feather. That's just why I've got the owl deck here for this week's pick a card. Oh, right there. I absolutely love this fairy deck. It's so sweet. The energy to it is so sweet. So sweet. Like, sometimes it gets me emotional. So I am not looking forward to this Cancer season. Ugh. I am not one who enjoys getting into her emotions. It's in my 8th house. So, but I'm gonna do something different this Cancer season, and I'm gonna be really open up my heart, open to, like, my Cancer rising boy. He's boy number 2. He keeps telling me that he loves me today in particular. He was like, I'm loving you, like, I love you. And he kept saying it, and I'm like, you're making me feel uncomfortable. Seriously, stop. He didn't care. He just, because he's an Aries sun, Cancer rising. Pisces moon, I believe. He's the double water. I got a couple double waters in here. Yeah, he's the Pisces moon. He's got a lot of Pisces in his chart. So he's more water than fire, but he does have a hot temper as well. It's what I like about Aries. They just get it out, and then that's it. There's no seething. There's no sort of, you know how an Aries feels. You do. But then he can get into that Piscean energy and keep it quiet, and you gotta dive deep. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. Let me just get my son's energy out of these cards and get to pile number 3's the intent. And the intent is messages from your higher self. My goodness, these cards are all over the place. You got 2 of these. 2 literally came out. So how I'm going to make that work, we will see. I almost feel like saying you could be seeing doubles. Let's just take a look at the table here. Because these are big cards, so I also don't want it to go off the table. Alright, so it means that you might only get a couple of these tarot cards. You got 2 of these ones. Geometrically, what is it? Let me just see. Yeah, geometry. And 2 flew out to pile number 3, so I'm going to take them. Now we're getting into the tarot. Oh, so I'm going to just take 2 of these. Just 2 of those. And let's do this tarot deck. And put the intention into these cards of what the higher self, what your higher self, what the messages are for you. I see that one. 1, 2, 3. It's almost like 4 want to come out. Can I fit that? Your pile is really making it all different. Yep, I can get 4 in there. Yep, yes indeed. All right. All right, let's see how that looks. Good. All right. So I got 4 of those. Well, that makes up for the extra tarot card that we had to leave out, doesn't it? Really? So, owl, That's the Owl Tarot. What are the highest, your higher self, the highest messages from your higher self that want to come out? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's see how that looks. That looks fantastic. All right. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Now my feathers, I'll just put that there for now. I love that feather. It's my favorite right now. First card out. Universal balance. Universal balance. Let's take a look. Universal balance. There's the laws in the universe. Where's the universe? There it is. Balance is within. All you need to do is manifest it. With balance comes greater understanding and awareness. To balance is to understand and love yourself. By achieving balance, you open up the door to the future and to the light. Balance becomes the ability to give and receive in equal measure. Balance provides a new foundation for greater potential. Now, what I'm picking up from this message for you, pile 3, is that by achieving balance, you open the door to the future and the light. It's funny. It becomes the ability to give and receive. Okay, to give and to receive, not only from others, but from the universe is what I'm hearing. You have Raven, magnetism, introspection, self-realization, self-belief, courage, changeability, and aloofness, ability to spellbind and bewitch. And Pig, diligence, generosity, kindness, nativity, determination, devotion, responsibility, helpfulness, good nature, subjectivity. I'm really feeling with these 2, and 2 wanted to come out, both Raven and Pig. Interesting. They want, for some reason, universal balance. They want the ravens to be close to the owls. All right. And Pig, which is this diligence, generosity, kindness, nativity. If you are one of the givers, well, again, I've said this before, I'll continue to say, because this is wise wisdom right here. And as a giver, know your limits, because a taker has none. With universal balance, I want to put this Pig totem above universal balance, because it's finding the balance to give and to receive. Sometimes givers can give and give and give until exhaustion and not really know or have learned how to receive out of guilt. A lot of givers have guilt. That's why they can be manipulated. That's why they can be used, to be honest with you. And so with Pig being generous, diligence, generosity, kindness, nativity, can believe something, and we're going into, I'm just saying, I don't know I just feel that we're going into this Cancer season with a great sense of what could be perceived as emotional manipulation. So I just want you to be aware of that, all you givers out there. And I'm going to say it. And for all you takers, you're watching this, find balance and learn how to give. If you constantly take, that's not only what you will attract, but then others will take from you, right? And it's that sense of, what's in it for them, right? To give unconditionally is not to ask yourself, well, what's in it for them? Like, why is this person being nice, what's in it for them? That's an energy, it's very defensive, yes. But to truly give, you can choose not to give. As a giver, myself, I choose not to give my time, my efforts to anyone that is not giving equally to me. And that was a real tough lesson for me to learn. It really was. And as I see what I've learned being applied, a lot of people left my life, right? And that's fine. Because now I am seeing and I'm attracting those other givers who see my worth. I see their worth. I've learned how to receive. They've learned how to receive. And so it's a very beautiful Six of Pentacles, equal give and take. Now, with this magnetism, with this raven and magnetism, introspection, self-realization, self-belief, courage, changeability. This card really speaks of going within, knowing your worth, and then coming back out. If you lose people, friends, co-workers, family, they weren't meant to be with you. They were using you. Sweet souls, pile number 3. Like this, if they were meant to fall away, and they have, let them. It's really a very strong message I'm picking up. Phoenix. Wow, that's a powerful card right there. Let's take a look at that Phoenix message. All right. Phoenix. That I'm assuming would be in the fire family of this book. There's water, earth, fire, air, and then like a spirit fire. Let's see if Phoenix should be in fire. Oh, there it is. Yeah, of course it is. He is a pillar of eternal light, presenting vital passage of cyclical regeneration. Oh ho ho. Phoenix is always transforming through birth, death, and resurrection. Very death card, Scorpio energy. When everything that once was is no longer, he activates rebirth through fire and fortitude. Once he has offered his complete existence to the sacred flames, a new phoenix emerges out of the ash and he rises young and powerful. New phoenix is an that's where the emphasis is. Emanation of his ancestors' labor and wisdom, refreshed and ready to give his gifts to the world. Universal balance. Giving and receiving gifts. Receiving from his ancestors, phoenixes, and giving those gifts to the world. Very much of universal balance. Phoenix sends the message that a part of your life is undergoing resurrection. He facilitates the inward journey that is necessary before any rebirth. Nothing can ever really be lost. Let his medicine lay claim to all that is no longer relevant to your ever-evolving existence. And that's what I was talking about with people falling away from your life. Absolutely. Surrender yourself to the fire of renewal, and you will return reborn, refined, and with more beauty and more power than you could have possibly imagined. To bring you into balance, if you are out of balance. Because when you're out of balance, you have inner conflict. That's what is. Allow yourself to grieve what has ended and take a deep rest. Deep rest. That's good advice right there from your higher self through Phoenix. Solar plexus. Solar plexus. The frequency of the solar plexus is the yellow flower of life. Supports our sense of self, our personal power, and our willpower, as well as our knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. Now, with these cards, because it's very long-winded in these guidebooks, so this is number 3. So what I am doing is I am reading, try this, and that's the practical application, which I love about this. Go inside yourself for a moment to think about what is important in your life. Do you spend your days doing what you love? Do you feel satisfied? Do you feel you're on an important part of this big puzzle we call life? Most of us have that one thing that we love doing and we're really good at. What is your one thing? You could be resurrecting that one thing with this Phoenix card. Let's see what this one is. You got 2. Transition. 43. Transition. 43. The frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence in our lives. Well, isn't that what Phoenix talks about? And perpetually dying and rebirth, right? Out of the ashes. Interesting. So that we can learn to let go, which is exactly what Phoenix talks to. Yes, surrender to the process and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. So try this. Take a moment to look at the transition image. How do you flow with the transitions in your life? What transitions are you, afraid of? Look at the last transition that you went through and remember the gifts that came because of it. What will your next transition be? Go outside and see how nature goes through a constant cycle of death and rebirth. Death and rebirth. Phoenix card. In order to continue life, celebrate your transitions. Celebrate it instead of fear it. And your fairy. Oh my goodness gracious. I feel transformed. Pile number 3. See, I love these. I love this. Oh my goodness. I feel transformed. Oh, it's going to bring tears to my eyes. Damn Cancer season. I feel, when I'm in awe, sometimes I cry. Like I'm just in awe, right? So when these cards, which I randomly just shuffle, talk, I'm telling you. So the message from the fairy deck is, I am awake and renewed, refreshed and energized. I rise up towards the sunlight. There it is, the solar plexus. And share its energy. I have found. My old self is gone, shed off. My new skin lifts me higher. Wow. I'm loving this. Pile number 3. I love this as much as you do. King of Wands. Isn't that Leo energy in the tarot? I believe it is. And we've got solar plexus. We got Leo. I think it was another pile that had, this card was Leo. King of Wands. King of Wands. Got Pentacles, Wands. Where's the King? King of Wands. Confidence, willpower, reliable, bold and strong. The tortoise endures much in his long life. His slow movements are a reliable form of energy. When the tortoise appears, it is good to remember that being reliable and confident will take you far into achieving your heart's desires. I'm feeling that that's being there for you. You be reliable. You be reliable for you. You be reliable during these transitions, that you will always slowly go through them and thank them. Justice. And isn't that the Balance card? Absolutely. Justice. Balance. Equality. Advice. One must have balance in life to achieve harmony. Are your opinions fair? Are your opinions fair, or are you biased? Do you need to balance yourself inwardly, or balanced work and play? Those are good questions, pile number 3. And it goes back to that universal balance. Let's see what the next tarot card, the Knight of Cups. This speaks to me of creativity. That looks fantastic. Of creativity. But let's just take a look. Cups. Knight of Cups. Oh, these ones are ahead. Knight of Cups, there we go. The charming young man has a tender heart and isn't afraid of sharing his feelings. Love and forgiveness are qualities he brings to the relationship as well as romance. His imagination is endless, and he is also a nature. Oh, sorry, It says nature. I think they mean natural. I'm going to say natural psychic, who knows things before they occur. At times, he might be too idealistic, diplomatic instead of honest. Oh, and his feelings come and go too quickly. Now, when I read this and where we are at in this read, pile number 3, when I read that love and forgiveness are qualities he brings, I am picking up that the love and quality, the Knight of Cups, your higher self is saying, is that you have to love yourself unconditionally. Forgive yourself for maybe being that giver that has no boundaries. And takers knew this, right? For some of you. That when you're going through this transformation, we have it with the Phoenix, I feel transformed and transition. To really be there as the King of Wands is, be reliable for yourself during this transition, finding balance with the Justice card and universal balance to balance out those, I guess, idealistic ideas as well as diplomacy, as well as truth, as well as fairness, to balance those things out. Sometimes truth hurts, and if truth has to be spoken, because this is who you have turned into, the old you is gone and the new you is here, this is where the Knight of Cups can say it in a loving way. Next card, next message, 5 of Swords. Yes, indeed, the 5 of Swords. Let's take a look. Five of Swords, 0 to 10 degrees of Aquarius, Venus in Aquarius, if you have those placements. Feeling defeated, having to face one's failure. And again, right beside this Knight of Cups, forgive yourself for those failures, because what have you learned? And those lessons that you have learned are more valuable than the successes you would have had if you hadn't failed. That's how I look at it. The anxiety, difficulty that comes from a battle or argument is symbolized by this card. This card might also indicate that you are dealing with an unreliable, above the King of Wands, or ungrateful person. And for all you givers, pile number 3, this is what takers do. Just saying. They're unreliable for you. You know, how many times did you help someone move, and then when you need to move, they're like, oh, I can't. Oh, I got this to do. Oh, I'm playing golf. Really? Oh, trust me, I don't move anyone anymore. I've moved a lot of people, and when I moved, I did it all by myself. So, 2 of Wands, next card out. 2 of Wands, a decision and planning, right? Let's see what the message from this deck is, from the 2 of Wands. It's 0 to 10 degrees of Aries. It's also Mars in Aries. You are being presented with a new path by the 2 of Wands. Cosmic energies are at work. This path has tremendous power. It takes courage and curiosity to embark on this path. Additionally, it indicates overseas travel, sudden departures, and deciding whether or not to stay or go. A 2 of Wands is also a card about strength, which can be found in harmony, rule, justice, courage, boldness, resolve, ambition, and restlessness. And that's finding balance, isn't it? You have a choice to make. Pile number 3, 6 of Cups. Look at that. Look at how this darkness is flanked with these colors. I love that. 6 of Cups. I love this 6 of Cups energy. 6 of Cups is 10 to 20 degrees of Scorpio. Sun in Scorpio. You could be dealing with a Scorpio. Got a lot of Scorpio, it feels like, with transition. Phoenix. Now, Six of Cups, we've got a lot of Scorpio all up in here. We do. Even the raven, for some reason, reminds me of Scorpio sometimes. When I get the big ones flying in, oh, the beauty of them, the sound of those wings when they take off. It's breathtaking. It really is. I don't know why I put together Raven and Scorpio. I have no idea. Anyways, the feeling of being a child. It's a card of nostalgia and happy childhood memories. Thinking about someone from the past or reminiscing about the past is represented by this card. In addition, it carries an air of childish innocence and youthfulness, playfulness, innocence, goodwill, and sharing could all be represented by it. At the extreme, it can also be seen as childish or immature. So having said that, when we're dealing with finding balance, it's finding balance between, as they say in the transition, work and play. And when you play, you really get into that childlike sense of wonder and delight, and just go do something you haven't done for a while. Maybe bringing back, with this Venus card, things that you used to do all the time and you haven't done in years, decades, whatever that means to you. And this is a real sense of finding that childlike sense of wonder and delight within you, within your relationships. Beautiful. And to really discard any childish people that are taking advantage of you. Knight of Pentacles, right above. Let's see what the owls have to say. Right above that Knight of Cups, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Let's take a look. Is this one at the back here? Yeah, I think they're court cards, yes. So let's find the Knights. Knight of Pentacles. Slow and steady. Flights win the race. Being intentional with all of your decisions will help you reach your goals faster than racing to the finish line. Focus on the present moment and what you're experiencing right now instead of getting too ahead of yourself and missing steps. You should know the lay of the land and the details before you take flight, which is exactly what that Two of Wands talks about. And within transition, take your time. Transition is no joke. It's hard. It's very difficult. Four of Cups. The Four of Cups. Let's take a look. Four of Cups. Dissatisfied emotions roll through you. What has worked for you before is not working anymore. And that, pile number 3, is because you're going through a transformation. You're going through, again, transformation. Phoenix, you're rising from the ashes. Absolutely. What used to work for you does not work for you anymore because you yourself has changed, has evolved, for lack of a better term. You're finding that universal balance. What you put out there is what you give, or what you receive. What you give is what you receive. What you put out there is what you get back. That's the balance. You are feeling uninspired. Instead of just sitting there, and it's funny that it's right above this Knight of Cups. I want you to get inspired. And it kind of, it almost feels like one foot is inspiration, one foot is like, that's not going to work. And that self-deprecating, that, argument within your own mind, right? Instead of just sitting there and waiting for your reality to change, it is time to look outside your current situation. Look for that extra cup that has been offered to you and implement different actions. What you think is missing is actually not missing at all. It's right in front of you. You just have to look for it. Pile number 3. And have patience with this Temperance card. Let's take a look at what the message of Temperance is for you. You've recently leveled up. Yes, this is what the transformation process is about. This is what the Phoenix has leveled up. Absolutely. You've recently leveled up and have stepped into your new self and your new life. And that itself takes time to readjust, not only to what you're thinking, what you're feeling, even your physical body could be changing as well. Absolutely. You've recently leveled up. I got to start from the beginning. And have stepped into your new self and your new life. You are feeling confident, powerful, and magical. I love that, pile number 3. Nothing in this universe can stop you now. You hope this miracle does not disappear. The temperance owl shares that this can be your state of being anytime you choose. Be aware of what you are doing, how you are experiencing yourself, and how you are feeling at this moment. And recall these memories when you want to tap into your magic and future. And that's what the Six of Cups is about. When you're feeling the Four of Cups and you're not feeling it, step back into the Six of Cups, says the message from the Temperance card. Yeah. How you are experiencing self, how you are feeling this moment, and recall these memories when you want to tap into your magic in the future. But remember, life is also about balance. Yes, indeed. First card out, universal balance. And this Justice card. So don't fly too high right now, or your fall will hurt. And that's what the Knight of Pentacles talked about. Don't fly too low, or you will have a long way to go to fly back up to this space. Glide through the sky at just the right pace, and ride the airstreams with ease. That's a beautiful message. Wrapping this all up. 8 of Swords. Oh, and we end with, it could be a challenge. The 8 of Swords is definitely a challenge. If you're air predominant, this is I have both Pluto and my 0 degrees moon in Libra, and that I can get in my head and stay there and overanalyze and just think and really experience this 8 of Swords. Yeah, and so it can take a minute to get out and do you know how I do it? I get into my feels, and that's what annoys me the most. is that I am not water dominant in my chart at all. But I know I've learned, and that is what I have to do. So let's go to the 8 of Swords. And the message from the 8 owl is, the 8 of Swords, the biggest traps we fall into are the ones in our minds. Isn't that truth right there? If you believe you are restricted and helpless, then that is what will reflect in your reality. Absolutely. When a problem presents itself to you, instead of thinking of it as something that is hindering your path, think of it as a challenge that you get to solve. There is always loose bindings around your circumstances if you focus on staying calm, Temperance card, and curious. You will find a way out of this experience that 9 times out of 10, sweet souls, pile number 3, 9 times out of 10 you created with your own mind and thoughts in the first place. So it's finding balance. I'm really picking up finding balance between your heart and your head. Absolutely. Finding balance as you transition out of the old you into the new you, keeping that balance. That when it gets really dark, when it gets really hard, that you do not give up, that you do not talk yourself out of a path that might be a little unnerving, that might be a little scary, that would be something completely different. I know this energy because starting this channel for me was, I never wanted to be on the internet at all. No social media, no, I did not partake in it at all. So just putting this up for me as an example to you, I know this energy and I've walked through that, and I'm still sort of developing my confidence to read cards for all of you. But this is so fun for me, this format, that it will really, when I get back into the zodiac signs and the editing in September, oh my goodness, I think that with this summer of these pick a card reads, it is going to be, it is going to just catapult me forward into being my true authentic self through the reads for the zodiac signs come in September. And that, pile number 3, is what I see for you. And I'm sure I'll see you again. Take care from your Forest Fairy. Bye for now.